up everyone? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Raine. Sometimes I film, sometimes I don't. I'm a hot mess, but we're here. So today I have a very exciting announcement. I am going to be hosting, along with my fellow co-hosts of the Stacks of Strange book club, we are going to be hosting STRANGEATHON, which is a readathon that was inspired by a lot of books that we have read in the past in the club. It's just going to be a lot of fun, and I do hope that you all decide to participate. You don't have to be part of the book club to participate in the readathon. You don't even have to know what this book club is about. Just know that we pick a weird book each month. We discuss it at the end of the month. We always have a great time. We host reading sprints. We love each other, and that's about it. So I will link all my fellow co-hosts down below so that you can check them out. Also, check out our Instagram for the Stacks of Strange book club. That's where you'll find all the details leading up to the readathon, as well as other book club picks for each month. So the readathon will be running from June 21st through the 27th. There are 5 challenges. They are mostly inspired by books that we've read in the past, but you don't have to be someone who has read those or even someone who reads weird books. You just have to be someone who has a TBR that you need to get through. So the first challenge for the readathon is a non-human point of view. So for example, we read Hollow Kingdom by Kira Jane Buxton back in October, I believe, and this involves the point of view of a domesticated crow during a zombie apocalypse. But there are other books involving non-human POVs that you could read from. I know this will probably be easiest for fantasy and sci-fi readers because there are definitely books that are from points of view of the Fae. There are books that are from points of view of vampires or points of view from aliens or whatever, other worldly beings. We have read books that were more on the magical realism side that did involve non-human POVs that looked like humans, but they were something else. For example, Follow Me to Ground by Sue Rainsford involves someone who looks like a human, but was grown from the ground, and she can grow body parts and things like that. I feel like you can find books that work for this if you just do a bit of research, but I can also do that for you. I will have a recommendations video later on as we get closer to the readathon, as well as the other hosts. They will also have recommendations videos too, so you might want to check those out. I do kind of have a loose TBR for this readathon, so I will tell you what I definitely plan to read for this challenge, and that is The Devourers by Indra Das. This is a horror fantasy that I believe much of this is told from the perspective of like a werewolf or a werewolf type creature. It is supposed to be pretty freaking brutal and disturbing, so maybe like read some reviews and things before you decide to like make this your pick. But I'm definitely intrigued and I'm really excited to read it. The next challenge is to read a book with an odd setting. So this could be an entirely made up fantasy world. It could be a distant planet. It could be completely set underwater. Whatever you believe fits for this prompt, just run with it. No one's going to sit there and pick at what kind of TBR you have. Like, just if you think it works, it's totally gonna work. I don't have a pick for this quite yet, but I will probably end up reading some sort of fantasy. I'm definitely in the fantasy mood because I just finished Shadow and Bone season 1, which was fantastic, so good. And now I just want to read fantasy. I don't know if I'm going to be in a horror mood or a fantasy mood, so I'm kind of leaving this one open. Same goes for the third challenge, which is LGBTQIA+ representation, and that is because June is Pride Month. So obviously we want to show our appreciation for that. We have read several books that were either written by LGBTQIA+ authors or have had that representation in those books. For example, What Big Teeth by Rosabo, We Ride Upon Sticks by Quan Berry. The Echo Wife was written by a non-binary author, Sarah Gailey. House of Hollow, which is our May pick, has representation. This is another challenge that I don't quite have a book pick for yet because there are so many books on my TBR that fit this. But if I am still in the fantasy mood that I'm in now, I definitely want to read Girls of Paper and Fire. So that's one I would really like to happen for this. But it just depends on if I'm feeling more in like the horror mood or whatever. I don't even know what I want to read anymore, to be honest. Like I changed my mind so much, it's ridiculous. Challenge number 4 is unusual format. So this could be any type of mixed media. It could be podcast format. It could be a graphic novel or a manga, which is probably what I'll end up reading for this. And the one that I'm interested in reading right now is Skyward, Volume 1. This is set, I guess, like after the Earth has been reduced to like a fraction of the gravity that it had before, and so people are basically able to like fly and float around or whatever, but if you jump too high you could die. And this follows a young woman whose father is trying to restore gravity back to what it once was, but I guess this is a very dangerous thing that he is doing. But yeah, it sounds really good, and the art style definitely looks like an art style that I'm into, so I'm excited to read that one. So the last challenge is to read a book that is folklore or mythology inspired. I believe In the House in the Dark of the Woods, which we read back in November, was loosely inspired by some sort of like fairy tales or folklore. But I just thought this would be a really fun one to throw out there because there are a lot of books that are folklore or mythology inspired, and I feel like they're just becoming more and more popular, and I feel like it's the best way to get someone interested in other cultures and learning more about other parts of the world that you probably wouldn't have before. So the book that I want to read for this is Never Have I Ever by Isabel Yap. This is a short story collection, and every time I see this cover, which is gorgeous by the way, I always go and like read about this book, and then I read reviews and I'm like, I really want to read this. So I think this is just definitely happening for the readathon, and I'm really excited to read it. It is Filipino folklore inspired, so yeah, I can't wait to read it. It's also LGBTQIA+, so very cool. I'm just so excited about this. If you guys had no idea, but like really excited. It's going to be so much fun. So for those of you who have decided you want to participate, you can join our Discord, which is linked on our Instagram, but I will link it down below as well. Over there, we talk about the book picks each month, but we will also have like separate threads for Strangeathon. You could post your TBRs there. You could post suggestions there for books to read for each of the challenges. I know that Deja recently posted a Storyograph challenge that she created for this readathon, so if you're into Storyograph, you should definitely go check that out. That's really cool. I've been getting into Storyograph, but I like forget to go over there and like update things, so I'm like a little overwhelmed with what I need to update, but I didn't really read a whole lot, so I should be fine. But there will be some book suggestions over there as well. I do believe Carol is putting some book suggestions on there. I'll try to go over there and do that too. But like I said, I will have a recommendations video. My co-hosts, I don't know if all of them will have recommendations videos, but some of them will, so you might want to go check those out. They're all amazing, and they like do wonders for me with this book club. They help me so much to keep up with it. There's also a tic-tac-toe board for the readathon, which was created by the lovely Cat Chats. She created all of the templates for the readathon. Those are going to be located